All right, so let's talk about Thanksgiving. And I know what you're thinking. Pilgrims, turkey, maybe a little too much family time. But what if I told you that whole story is just the beginning? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the secret, supernatural history of the holiday. So, I want you to really ask yourself, do you actually know the story of Thanksgiving? Because the version we all learned in school, it leaves out some pretty major details. We're talking details that involve magic, ancient curses, and a kind of paranormal turf war between holidays. Yeah, it's about to get weird. Okay, so here's our game plan for this little deep dive. First up, we're gonna expose Thanksgiving's real purpose. Then, we're gonna meet the holiday's cursed and very, very unexpected leader. After that, we'll get into how the holiday spirit actually gets its power, and believe me, your dinner table has everything to do with it. And finally, we'll go over the essential rules for surviving this supernatural season. So let's start with Thanksgiving's secret purpose. Forget everything you know about a simple harvest feast. According to our source, this holiday plays an incredibly important role. It's a high-stakes, metaphysical bridge in the supernatural calendar. Here's the deal. Thanksgiving isn't just one day. It's actually a 12-day season that acts as a buffer zone. Just think about it for a second. You've got the chaotic, spooky, dark energy of Halloween, right? And then you've got the pure, goodwill, light energy of Christmas. If those two powerful forces just slammed right into each other, total catastrophe. So, Thanksgiving exists to safely blend those energies together. And apparently, it's always been this way. The source suggests that way back in 1621, that first famous meal wasn't just about celebrating a harvest. It was about forming an alliance, about banding together to deal with the seriously bizarre paranormal weirdness of the New World. Okay, so if this holiday is some kind of supernatural bridge, who's running the show? I mean, every big holiday has a figurehead, right? Well, let me tell you, the leader of Thanksgiving is probably the last person or, thing you would ever guess.
So who do you think it is? Santa moonlighting? A council of pilgrim ghosts, maybe? The Great Pumpkin? Nope. The truth is so much stranger.
Get ready for this. The leader of Thanksgiving is not Santa. It's not a pilgrim. It is an immortal, cursed turkey named Tom. And yes, you absolutely heard that right. The being in charge of this entire holiday is a turkey with a seriously tragic backstory. And here's his incredible origin story. Ages and ages ago, a pilgrim man and a Native American woman fell in love. But there was this wicked wizard who hated their union and despised everything Thanksgiving stood for. So for revenge, he cast this horrible curse. He fused their two souls together into the body of one single turkey for all of eternity. And that turkey is Tom. So you're probably asking yourself, how on earth does a cursed turkey run an entire supernatural holiday? Which is a totally fair question, and that brings us to how the magic of Thanksgiving is actually powered up. So according to the source, that holiday spirit we all talk about isn't just a warm, fuzzy feeling. It is a literal, tangible force field of positive energy, and it's generated by the collective thoughts and feelings of every single person celebrating. The leader of the holiday is supposed to channel that power to promote good and push back against darkness. But here's the catch. Tom, because of his whole two souls in one body curse, wasn't strong enough to channel all that spiritual energy by himself. If he tried, it would actually drain power away from the Christmas season, which would be a complete disaster. He needed backup. A special team had to be formed. And this is that team, the Thanksgiving Triad. First, you got Tom, the reluctant, cursed leader. Second, you have the pardoned turkey, and yes, we are talking about the actual turkey the president pardons every single year. That bird becomes immortal and acts as a pure vessel for the holiday spirit. And finally, Santa Claus himself steps in, lending his incredible power to make sure the whole operation goes off without a hitch. All right, let's move on to the main course. And I gotta warn you, this next little tidbit might just change the way you look at your Thanksgiving dinner forever. The source puts it pretty bluntly. Every single turkey on every single dinner table is a willing sacrifice to the Thanksgiving spirit. Their life force doesn't just disappear. It's converted into raw, spiritual fuel that powers the entire season. Okay, before you swear off turkey forever, the source gives us a really important piece of comfort here. This is a noble sacrifice. The turkeys are rewarded with a glorious afterlife, a turkey paradise, if you will, and their energy provides a massive power-up for the Christmas season, which helps promote peace on Earth. Finally, with all this magic and spiritual energy flying around, you gotta know the rules of the road. Think of this last part as your official paranormal guide to staying safe during the Thanksgiving season. Okay, here are your official duties. To avoid any bad luck and to help that seasonal energy transition, all your Halloween decorations have to come down by Thanksgiving Day. Also, you have to finish all the Halloween candy, the only exception. The very few people out there whose souls are just deeply infused with the spirit of Halloween, they get a year-round pass on spooky decor. But it isn't all just about rules, there are real dangers too. The number one threat is a creature known as the Gobbler Ghoul. These are not your average turkeys. They're dark, supernatural monsters born from black magic, and they have a horrifying taste for their cooked brethren. They hunt on Thanksgiving, but luckily they are incredibly rare. And I've got one last incredible detail for you. Next time you're watching the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, remember this. When you see Santa on his float at the very end, he's not just there for show. He is actually overseeing a secret, high-level paranormal summit in a hidden room right there at Macy's, strategizing with other supernatural leaders for the upcoming Christmas season. And that's where we'll leave it, but it leaves you with one massive question to chew on. If a holiday we all thought was just about food and family has this entire secret world bubbling just under the surface, what in the world is really going on with Easter or Valentine's Day? What other secrets are the holidays hiding from us?